Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Arsenal won against Crystal Palace 1-0, but no chance in hell. That was a convincing performance. However, despite getting 3 points, despite everything all happy chappy because we are still on top of the table, we are increasing the gap to the second place. There are issues because Mikel Arteta has confirmed that William Saliba, Ricardo Calafiori, and Declan Rice, all three of them, apparently were forced off the pitch due to injuries. Which, if you look long term, is a big worry. So today on the stream, we're going to talk about all that. We're going to dive into Mikel Arteta's post-match press conference, what he has said about the players, how injured they are, like how seriously they might be injured and all this stuff. But yeah, Arsenal have 3 points on the board, which is great. Performance was less than barrel, let's just put it that way. But to some extent, it's insane because I want some great performances, without shadow of a doubt. At the same time, it looks like kind of have to make amends that we're going to play this way. Against these mid-low blocks, we have to play this way. And we will play this way because so far, it has given us the results. Under George Graham, we didn't matter that it was 1-0 to the Arsenal and we won the game. If we win the league at the end of the season, phenomenal. Because then nobody will remember these performances at the end of the day. So that would be fantastic. At the same time, yes, the performances are nothing to be too excited about, especially given the circumstances, especially given the situation, in terms of the fact that we score from set pieces. Yes, it's great that we are scoring from set pieces. We are the best team, you could argue, in the world that does that. At the same time, we have scored 16 goals this season in Premier League. 16. But only 5 have come from open play. 9 have been set pieces, 2 have been penalties, the rest of them have been from open play. So if, and if, I'm saying if, these set piece goals dry up, and we still don't have a solution how to score from open play, we could be chalked. We could be done, and that could be a massive issue, to say the least, of course. But yeah, like the stream if you haven't already, subscribe if you are new around here. And of course, don't forget to leave your thoughts down in the live chat so we can tackle them, we can discuss them, and we can go from there. Big up Mubarak, embarrassing performance. And Arsenal get 3 points. That's at 10 day. That's all it matters. Big up Anfield the Red. Haaland blanked, Salah didn't. Yeah, but in the end, in words of Linkin Park, they tried so hard, they got so far. But in the end, it didn't even matter because City lost and Liverpool lost as well, which is obviously in favor of Arsenal. Let's just put it that way. Big up AFC always. Embarrassing display once again. This is awful. 1 shot after 33 minutes, 100%. In open play, we don't create chances. Performance stinky, vital victory. Yeah, it's a very vital victory. Performance was very stinky. The open play situation, I'm not ringing alarm bells just yet, but if it continues for 1-2 more games, there will be discussions to be had. Gyökeres once again having a massive stinker, anonymous, feeding off scraps, and didn't do much. And that again is another big worry. The good thing is, of course, we are winning despite Gyökeres not scoring goals, Gyökeres not having chances. The hope is that Gyökeres will start to bang. When? Who knows? Let's be real. Despite these performances, we still get results, which is also great. But at what point the performances will catch up to the results? At what point that is going to happen? So time only will tell. Yes, overall, controlled game. Although Crystal Palace threw us a challenge, we also hit the bar. Let's not forget that. But it wasn't pretty. It was very hard watch, to say the least. It was a very hard watch. Saka as well. He was playing while being sick, by the way. He got subbed off, and Arteta has confirmed it. So we are Hospital FC at the end of the day. Hospital FC. I don't mind one opportunity to combat the ball into the net. Yeah, that one opportunity when we put it in the net, it's great when we convert it into the net. Because we tried something similar against City, against other teams. It didn't work. Now it finally worked, right? But that one opportunity, is amazing when we convert it. If we miss the chance, do you think we win? Do you think we get 3 points? Do you think we would be maybe not talking in this type of light at the moment? I don't think so. It would be chalked. Cannot keep playing like this and getting 3 points. Exactly. What if our set pieces don't come off and we can't score from open play? Lots of 0-0s, 1-0 losses. Exactly. And that for me is the biggest point. At some point, results will catch up to performances, or performances will catch up to the results. And at some point, there is a big possibility, like it happened last year for a few months, like 3-4 months, if I'm not 2 months or so, our set pieces dried up. And if we will not have figured out how to score from open play by then, we will be in massive, massive pain and massive, massive world of trouble, to say the least, because then those 0-0s, 1-0 losses you are mentioning right now, AFC always, those gonna come into play. And people seem to just gloss over that. People at the moment don't care. And I get why they don't care, because we are still winning, we are still scoring from set pieces, but we are going one game at a time. But we cannot forget to think long term. And long term, as it says on the thumbnail, these performances specifically are not sustainable, to say the least. So yeah, people, also smash the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. Our ambitions and concentration on winning all the remaining matches, 28. Yeah, 28 matches to go. If we get 28 wins, well, not 28. I think it's 27. No, 28, 38, 29 matches. 29 matches to go. We must win all of them if we want to win. When Saka went off one year, he would have been more direct than Martinelli, without shadow of a doubt. But I kind of started to get a feeling when Saka came off, Arteta started to low-key park the bus. Also, with the Saliba coming off for Mosquito, with Rice's injury, with Calafiori's injury, yeah, I think Arteta kind of started to park the bus. He couldn't afford to be as attacking and as expensive as he would have liked to be. At least that's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but at the moment it feels that way. But this is the big thing. Because when we get 3 points and news like these start to come out after the game, you know it is going to be Peakham's if it's something serious and something long-term. Because this is the big thing. Ricardo Calafiori, Saliba, and Declan Rice were all 3 of them, forced off with injuries sustained during the game. And now we are in a danger zone. Because if these are, by any means, some long-term extent injuries, we could be done. Now, the good news is we have to play Burnley, which we should be beating, even without some of those players. We play against Brighton on Wednesday, which definitely will be the toughest challenge of them all. Slavia Prague away as well should be a win, even without these players. And Zubimendi, by the way, cannot play against Slavia Prague because he has picked up enough yellows to serve 1 match suspension. Let's not forget that, people. And if Declan Rice is out, we might be seeing Merino and Damsgaard, freaking hell, Norgard and Merino midfield. Let's not also forget that. And of course, game against Sunderland, who are in insane form, to say the least, could be a bit of an issue. And now this is starting to get worrying because City are not up for challenging. Liverpool have dropped off, and God knows how they're going to recover. And Arsenal, at the moment, are the most stable team in the league, and the team that, by default, based on how we are picking up points, despite performances, should be the favorites to win the league. But if these 3 players, more specifically Saliba and Declan Rice, are injured, everything changes. Everything changes, just like that. And obviously, Arsenal's squad depth is going to come into play. But think about it, the squad depth, right? People want to preach. Mosquera for Saliba. I can maybe survive with that, even though he got cooked as well, right? Merino for Declan Rice. I cannot survive with that. Norgard in the midfield. I cannot survive with that. So if Declan Rice is out, we are absolutely cooked. Calafiori is out. Skelly plays left back. Maybe Hinkapie plays left back. Hinkapie came on for Calafiori, so he played left back. That also is the case. I told people that Hincapié most likely is going to be a left-back option. And people told me he's a Gabriel replacement. Didn't look that way today. Didn't look that way whatsoever. So, yeah, and Saka came off. Martinelli went right. Why Wanyeri didn't come on? Again, big questions asked. On top of all that, by the way, yesterday, under 21 team played Max Dauman and the other guy, Dauman and someone else, some other youngster, I forgot his name, also were not registered for under 21's game, which led me to believe that today they would be registered for this game specifically. And once again, none of them were even registered. They were not on the bench. This is a big worry. We might be entering some very dark times. Obviously, luckily enough, we have 4 games left before the November international break. And 4 winnable games, even without some of these players before the international break. So this should not be such an issue. Such an issue. Then again, we know Arsenal. We know how this goes. It could be a massive problem, to say the least. Mateta had Saliba on toast. Oh, yes, he had multiple times. He had his number by default. Big up, Marlon. Big up, Marlon. Hope you're doing well. Other than Eze's goal, nothing. Just bland and injuries are Arteta's fault. We'll see. But it wasn't great. It definitely wasn't great. Kind of feels like I have to come to make amends with the fact that we're gonna play like this, because we're gonna face pretty much every single game is gonna be low blocks, plus minus 2-3 teams, right? So I should be expecting these type of games, these type of performances, pretty much every single game throughout the season. Now the thing is, how we counter these teams who play like that are set pieces. What we gonna do when they dry up? Because it was very evident that we haven't figured out the passing patterns, the way to play, and how to beat low blocks from open play. And it also feels like Arteta hasn't figured out how to, and doesn't want to figure out these type of situations as long as he has the free kicks, as long as he has the corners, which again, long term, if they dry up, potentially once they dry up, could be massive issue. Norgard, yes, but Merino, hell no, he's slower than... Exactly, when you're in the 10, Norgard in the 6, Skelly in the 8. Yeah, but and Hincapié then left back, and we have no defensive subs then, if they are out. Did Anush or Mal... no, none of them. Max Dauman and Salmon. Here we go. Marley Salmon. Big up Marlon. Salmon. Both of them didn't play for under 21s against Chelsea. It was expected that they would be on the bench for this game, and none of them were, ironically enough. Big up Caps. Big up Caps. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Big up Caps. Hope you're doing well. It was so boring, unpredictable. Very should know how we play at this point. No set piece, nothing defend. At least we're winning for now. Just how long it's going to happen. Yeah, Marley Salmon is like, hopefully. This game was boring. I fell asleep. I cannot blame you. Cannot blame you. It was one of those performances. It was one of those performances, once again, that this was actually insane. Could take up Saliba's role in years to come. Maybe Mosquera is for that. We'll see. We're definitely going to see about that. But at the moment, with these 3 players being questioned right now with the injuries, it is worrying. Obviously, at the moment, we are lucky, as I said, that we have 4 games we should be able to win without these players. We have 4 games coming up. After international break, which we have in November, we instantly have North London Derby at home. We have Bayern Munich, we have Chelsea, we have Aston Villa. Against those teams, we need these players. We desperately need those players, to be honest. And yeah, then it will be a big worry if they're going to be injured still by then. Hopefully, it's just minor knocks. Hopefully, it's just cramp. Hopefully, it's just something minor. But if it has basically, as Arteta says, evolved into something major, it could be massive issues. Burnley, Slavia should be games where youngsters can play. Exactly. Sunderland will be a struggle, but we should be beating as well. And of course, Brighton at home, that I think should be posing us the toughest challenge of them all. Let's be real. Brighton at home on Wednesday, this Wednesday, next week, should be the team that poses up the toughest challenge of the remaining 4 games. To be honest, let me rephrase that. Brighton and Sunderland away. Because we are playing Sunderland at their home ground, and Sunderland currently are 3rd in the table. I think that team as well, it's going to be rough. Granit Xhaka reunion and everything, Granit Xhaka derby and stuff like that is going to come up. And it's going to be also a very, very tough game on display. So, people, let's see what Mikel Arteta had to say about today's performance, because I need to see what he has waffled about in those terms, what he has had to say. On the importance of this win, I just told the boys that probably value this victory more than any other victory this season, because we knew the difficulty of it after playing every 3 days. We had a big opportunity as well with these things that happened during this weekend, and I knew we played against that team, in my opinion, has been one of the best recently in terms of organization. And you could see that, to be honest, in today's Palace game without shadow of a doubt. How difficult they make it, how frustrated they can make you, and the moment that you lose that concentration, they will punish you. We have managed to be very stable, playing the game that we have to play. In the first half, we were a bit stuck, quite a bit, but we found a way to score. Set piece again, ole, ole. In the second half, we attacked better and were more fluent, but with 1-0, we knew that we had to suffer, because a team has to score goals to beat any other opponent this season, so to keep a clean sheet is very, very, very important. On the crowd playing the game with the team, okay. On how Palace made the first half difficult for us, big credit to them, yes. On injuries, to Saliba, Rice, and Calafiori. Here it is, people. Saliba, Rice, and Calafiori. The first one was Saliba, Willie, who had to be taken out after the first half. That's probably because Arteta basically put him in a spliff and he was done afterwards. Declan was struggling from the first half with a knock that he took. Bloody hell, we have knocks again and Calafiori. Let's see how that will go. So very, very vague answers. Very vague answers to all three of them, which is a very, very big worry. Very big worry. Very big worry. Sunderland are fired. Their attack is low-key better than ours. We'll see. But they definitely... Sunderland is very organized. Very organized. Arguably most organized mid-table, lower-end team in the league. And it's going to be rough, especially at home at the Stadium of Light. It's going to be rough. Would like to see Salmon and Anush to get some minutes. Trust me, bro, if Wanyeri and Max Dauman and even Skelly cannot get minutes, those have even, it's like years away. Mosquera Gabriel duo would cook? Maybe. We'll see. Arteta doesn't like taking risks with youngsters, especially when he hasn't won anything in a while. In a while. In a while, that's a bit of an understatement. 6 years, it's not in a while. It's more than half a decade. That's already nuts. But Arteta, yeah, he doesn't like taking risks. I can also get a feeling he doesn't like youngsters in general. Oh, he played Saka and he played Smith Rowe, but they were already there. He had to play them because he had no other option. Rest of them, Same with Skelly, same with Wanyeri last season. He had no other option but to play them. Because let's be real, if Calafiori stays injury-free, Skelly doesn't get a sniff of a game. As well, if Odegaard doesn't get injured and he doesn't want to play Merino, Zinchenko there, Saka doesn't get injured, Wanyeri as well pretty much doesn't get a sniff of a game. We also cannot forget that. So I think also, I don't want to say he's anti-youth, but based on the youngsters that have left the club under Arteta, and the youngsters we have in the 11, no, not in the 11, in the squad, and they still don't get utilized somewhat consistently, I would say it is a worry. 6 years in a while, it's a massive while. He will say the Community Shield is a trophy again. We were not even in it this year. We have won two silver plates and FA Cup. And let's not forget, people, that we were in one of those, well, both of those. We were in one of those Community Shields because City won both. And we were second place. We basically got the wild card to get in one of those. We cannot also forget that. So it wasn't like as if we earned it, like purposely winning FA Cup or Premier League. Kelly clear of Calafiori, how bro's on the bench. Well, go figure. Calafiori, to be honest, today was very good. I'm not gonna lie, Calafiori today defensively actually was good. He didn't have this freedom this game. He wasn't galloping all across the pitch today. He was definitely staying back more, which allowed also Munoz and Sarr less freedom. They weren't as threatening this game. You could see that quite extensively because Calafiori, you definitely notice when he's out of position. But today, definitely he was much better, 100%. Some of the youngsters are already, yeah, that is also the case. Some of the youngsters already feel like they're ready to be in the first team and also feel that they're better than some of the main squad players. Big up, rude boy, rude boy. I genuinely don't see the names. It's just that. Hope you're feeling better. I am. We want to win the league, and we here talking about youngsters. Yes, we are. We are. Why not? Why not? Because those youngsters actually are better than some of the main team players, and they still don't get a good time. They will play their part, bro. When? Carabao Cup to get eliminated from the Carabao Cup. Like that also doesn't sit well. If it was Arsene Wenger, those youngsters would get minutes. He would walk to at least till quarterfinals with the youngsters in the cups. Arteta doesn't know how to do it. Some people won't see their favorite players play. Simple. You want to tell me that Vangieri is my favorite player? That Skelly is my favorite player? Get out of here. Seriously. Calafiori is better than Skelly defensively and more. Calafiori is better going forwards. Defensively, he is more physical, but at the same time, yeah, Skelly is better than half spaces, which also begs me the big question, why Skelly doesn't get played in midfield at all. Skelly doesn't play in midfield at all. If you're going to sit here and tell me that inverting from the left is the same, you can basically just click the red X on top right of the screen and never come back, because it's not the same. And why Skelly doesn't play the 8 role, why he's not tried in the midfield next to Zubimendi or Rice when Rice is maybe tried in the 6 and stuff like that is also a weird situation for me. Vangieri should be getting more minutes, without shadow of a doubt. Vangieri should be getting quite a bit more minutes, to say the least. Quite a bit more minutes. Give me a sec. Let me check this out. He should be getting quite a bit more minutes. These are, look at this. These are Vangieri's minutes this season. These are Ethan Vangieri's minutes this season. He has played 252 games. He has been registered to 6 of them, right? 6 games, which technically sounds great because that means 40 minutes on average. Technically, it sounds great, but you cannot tell me that that is good enough. 145 minutes in 4 games, that's half an hour technically. But we also look at it this way. If Odegaard doesn't get injured, he doesn't play against Leeds. He doesn't play against Forest. So how many minutes Vangieri would be getting then? Full game in Carabao Cup against Port Vale. Great. Champions League, 17 minutes. Also decent. He needs to play in Champions League as well. But this is criminal. It's 6 games when we have played, 9... like 12 games this season, 13 games this season. Only half of the games. Only half of the games, which is also not ideal, let's just put it that way. But of course, the biggest talking point are the injuries at the moment, which is definitely going to be rough. And Cala gets cooked by wingers often. Yeah, if Calafiori gets cooked by wingers, mostly because he has that freedom on the pitch to push forward. When he is on the right wing, left wing, number 10, striker, everywhere. But today we saw that he was sitting back more, just to counter the right side of Sar and Munoz, and it worked. He wasn't cooked as often. He was actually very solid defensively as well. I want to see more of that from Calafiori, personally. Big up Hyper Protagonist. Hope you're doing well. How would you use Ethan? Well, number 10, right wing, if it push comes to shove. There are options. We just don't Arteta just doesn't utilize them. Big up Godfrey. Big up Godfrey. I'm good. Arsenal won. The performance was shit, but it is what it is. Kind of have to make amends that if we gonna go this route at the moment this season, that we gonna play against low blocks, we're gonna stink out the places, we're gonna rely on set pieces mostly against these low block teams, because it looks like from open play for us to create is basically what it feels like impossible to some extent. And yeah, but at the moment the biggest talking point are the injuries. The biggest talking point for me are the injuries, because Saliba came off at halftime. I don't know what he has. Declan was struggling since the first half, and he still played. So why is he there? And of course, Calafiori, who knows how that's going to go. The 3 injuries for 3 starters, that is instantly not a good sign. Hincapié may be the permanent solution to left back. Potentially, yeah. Definitely. Nobody is discrediting Crystal Palace. People were saying, don't start Gabriel, don't start Saka today, right? If they are not fit. I'm not gonna lie. If we didn't start Gabriel, we might have drawn this game. If we don't start Saka to some extent, we also might have drawn that game, because obviously the goal came from Timber's foul, right? But Saka as well. Despite him being sick, Saka played today sick. That's why he got subbed off that early as well. Well, when I say early, it's 60 minutes. But Saka played today sick as well. He also wasn't fully fit for the game. So we played we played with fire today. The question is how bad the fire burned Saliba, Rice, and Calafiori. One of those days where we don't care how we win. Exactly. To be honest, yes, exactly. Our defense isn't the issue. It's the attack that needs to be more creative. Exactly. Because our defense scores more than our attack, which already is a big issue. Because if you look at the goals we have scored, and I said this in the beginning of the stream, if you were not there, we have scored 16 goals in Premier League. 16. 5 have been from open play. 9 have been set pieces, and 2 have been penalties. So effectively, out of 16 goals, we have scored only 5 from open play. That's less than 33% of the goals we have scored so far are from open play, which already is, it's not an issue, but it's already worrying. I'm not ringing the alarm bells, the red alarm bells just yet. But if we don't figure this out, and at some point, the set pieces are going to dry up, just like last season. What we going to do then when we cannot score from open play? What we going to do then? How we going to look? Who's going to pick up the pace? Who's going to pick up the slack when that happens? That, for me, is the biggest worry. We are taking one game at a time. Don't get me wrong. We just beat Palace. Great. Now, next game, Wednesday, against Brighton in Carabao Cup, right? At the Emirates. At the same time, we also need to keep an eye in the future a bit. What happens? What can happen just in case? At the moment, it is a bit worrying. Left 8, number 10, wings for Wanyeri. I can see that. We need a real 8. Yeah, Rice is a 6, Kane 8. Kane an 8, Zubmendi is a 6, and Merino is 2. We basically have only 6s pretty much exclusively on the pitch, technically speaking. Technically. Merino is something in between, but it feels like that it's exclusively like that. Set piece bullshit. What about the striker for what we have? Yeah, that is also, Gyökeres had a stinker today. He was feeding off scraps quite heavily. Didn't do much once again. Still 3 goals in Premier League. Nothing great, nothing too exciting in 9 games. And I told you this, guys. I told you this, that if Gyökeres is on like 5 goals by the end of this, before November international break, we will have an uncomfortable discussion stream about Gyökeres. It looks like we will also gonna have uncomfortable discussion about set pieces. Yeah, it's not even Gyökeres' fault. That's the nuts part. Because he's making some decent runs. Our players just don't find him. Eze, Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, anyone who plays on the wing in the midfield, they just cannot find him. Yeah, Gyökeres missed a header from a yard. Yeah, I get it. But it all kind of accumulates together. You would expect Gyökeres to score that. Yes, you would. Let's not forget that. At the same time, it's very hard to hit form when you get no service throughout the whole game. You kind of have to be ready for that one chance, and if you don't score, your chance is gone, and you might not get another one during the game. He needs to realize that. So he needs to be on his toes most of the time, right? At the same time, we are not creating enough for him. It would be a bigger issue if we created him about 6-7 chances per game, and he missed them all. We barely can create 1-2 chances for him during the games. And obviously, he's only striker with what it feels like who plays number 6 sometimes, who helps defending as well sometimes. Like that as well is not sitting well with me. He also should be more up front, up top. We park the pass and how Gabriel scores, yeah. Midfield can improve without shadow of a doubt. Midfield can improve massively. For me, that midfield can be proven tenfold easily can be improved if you sign the right player. We just don't. Maybe with Andrea Berta here, we can actually do it. Maybe we're actually going to do that. But for now, it's not looking great, is it? Arteta got to instruct these players to be braver and feed our striker. Yes, he does. Because the biggest thing is when we play, when we don't create, as Caps is saying, we don't create anything, right? And Godfrey is saying Arteta got to instruct these players to be braver. That's what I think. That's what one of the biggest things missing from our attack: the bravery, taking a risk, being unpredictable, doing something unorthodox. Because most of the time when you watch us play, is the same patterns. If you don't have 100% pass, or let's just say 85% pass, you recycle the ball, pass it backwards outside the wing, and then we go again. No thread the needle passes, less through balls and everything. We see them occasionally, but with a striker like Gyökeres, with the wingers we have who actually have proper ability to tend to run in behind as well, if you have the proper pass with proper weight, we don't take those risks. Zinchenko did it. Jorginho did it when they were here. Besides that, it doesn't happen. Because last year there were about 6-7, no, not 6-7. I think there were 2-3 times during the game we actually talked about this. I also showed the GIF, which was clipped from a video, where Havertz or Martinelli was making a run between Van Dijk and Bradley. Bradley was in no man's land. Van Dijk wasn't even looking at Martinelli. He had basically gap 60 yards, what it felt like, to run in behind. Odegaard had the ball on his strong foot, by the way, and he had open gap to pass the ball. Martinelli runs, Odegaard turns, he sees the run, he turns his head around, passes it backwards. And then Martinelli throws his arms in the air, Odegaard just apologizes, and we go recycle the ball once again. That is a big issue for me. We brought Gyökeres to cause damage. Depends what kind of damage. Big up kill switch. I think it's kill switch. Big up kill switch. Hard to create when every team uses mid-low blocks. Yeah, but you should have a solution. Set pieces are not a solution to this, because long term it's not sustainable. And it's been how many years, and we still have none of that with Arteta. No, yeah. Anyways, let's go back to this. Let's go back to the interview. Let's see what Mikel Arteta has said again. On if the squad knew that Manchester City were losing, nobody cares. Focus on yourself. On if Eze's goal was the kind of moment we signed him for. Yes, 100%. Okay. On Martinelli needing treatment after the game. Oh, bloody hell, Martinelli as well needs a treatment after the game. We have to check that one. He was a bit uncomfortable. He said he felt something. We don't know whether it's a muscular issue or not. So tomorrow we'll have more news. So potentially, tomorrow we will have news on Martinelli's injury, something he felt, and on Saliba, Rice, and Calafiori's injuries. So effectively, if shit hits the fan, in one game we could lose 4 players. That's how nuts it is. That's how nuts it is. And this is not even worrying. This is borderline panic stations. This is borderline panic stations. Injuries to Saliba, Rice, Calafiori potentially, and Martinelli news on the treatment more tomorrow. And Arteta doesn't know if it's muscular issue or not. I'm not pressing panic button yet about these injuries, but it's 4 players who are now under scans, investigations, and everything from the medical staff. From one game only. This is not looking great. This is definitely not looking great. Yeah, Calafiori got knocked as well. Why Hincapié come on? That's why Hincapié came on. Calafiori limped off a bit. He was limping when he got subbed off. 4 players. Calafiori, Saliba, Rice, and now it looks like Martinelli as well. And let's not forget that Saka, right? Saka has been ill, and he played tiny bit ill as well, and he didn't train. So Saka as well wasn't at all full 100%, which is another worry. This is no bueno. This is no bueno. On if he could provide more information on the players who went off. No, because I don't know. Not because I don't want to tell you, but because I don't really know. Saliba, there are only two things related to his substitution. With Declan, I don't really know because it was a knock. With Declan, it is a knock, and we know how well with Arsenal these knocks go. But I don't know if it was the calf. Oh, bloody hell. If it was the calf or it was his Achilles. Why are you putting these names in an interview? If you don't know, you say you don't know and shut the fuck up. Because as soon as you start to say, if I don't know it was the calf, I don't know it was the Achilles, you know this fan base is gonna go nuts. Leave it that I just don't know. With Declan, it was a knock. More information in the coming days. Because as soon as you say calf, Achilles, it's done for the fan base. You know how this is gonna be basically spun in the media and in the fan base instantly. It's gonna cause such havoc and such panic. It's not even funny. Like, come on, people, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What is Heinz doing, man? He is supposed to get these players into shape, into serious players, but it's the same boring. Like, hopefully not. We got Skelly and Hincapie as well. We are lucky Berta made sure we got cover in every position. Pretty much, yeah. We are very lucky. Not wings specifically, but overall, yeah. Exactly. It is causing panic for no reason until everything is confirmed at the moment. It's gonna cause panic. Because I already have checked Twitter. I have, and in the media and everything, it's already circulating. Arteta says that there could be issues, injuries, 4 players, and with Declan Rice, cough, Achilles, he doesn't know, and everything like it's not great. You're right, Berta did. Yeah, Berta did also a great job covering which position. Well, we have, but he didn't say it was great cover in every position. He said we have cover. That's the main thing, right? As they handle the occasion, he's a professional. He should be able. And if he's happy to have won through the set piece goal, it doesn't make a difference how difficult it is. To be honest, it doesn't matter exactly. It's just the fact that from open play, it was shit. It's not sustainable, and that is the biggest worry. On if it was easy for Eze to deliver a strong performance against his old club, well, he should be, and it also should not be an issue. Let's just put it that way. It should and should not be an issue. But yeah, I think the biggest worry is the injuries. The biggest worry right now is the injuries. That for me is the biggest worry. Arsenal injuries. Yeah, you see this? It's already here. It is already happening. As Godfrey said, it's causing panic for no reason. Mirror football already. Mikel Arteta confirmed that Arsenal picked up 4 injury concerns in Crystal Palace win. It's already being spread. It is already being spread, people. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take a lot. One interview, few words in terms of calf, Achilles, and everything. I'm not even gonna open that article, but I can guarantee you it's gonna be in there. It is a big, big worry at the moment. 4 injury concerns already. 4. It's not like it's 1, not even 2, but it is 4. Which is definitely not We'll see how everything develops afterwards, how much it's gonna affect the team, but hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully it is nothing major. Let's just put it that way, because if it is something major, it could be very pick'ems. Very pick'ems. But yeah, it is what it is. I guess we have to make amends with that. It is what it is. Big up everyone here in the chat. Like the stream and subscribe if you're new. Leave your thoughts in the live chat regarding the game. How you feeling about this? How you think Arsenal game went and everything. Let's look at Arsenal, to be honest. Let's look at the starting 11. Let's look at the team that got put out. Let's look at the stats as well. Let's look at this overall. Let's look at these images. Here we go. Here we bloody go. So, 9 shots, 3 on target, 1 goal. Okay, cool. 60% possession, passes, and everything. Who cares, right? 4 corners. Okay. Arsenal are sitting rather comfortably on top of the table at the moment. Rather comfortably on top of the table at the moment, right? Bournemouth are second. Spurs are third, and Sunderland are fourth. Only by goal difference, by the way, people. Only by goal difference. City are fifth. United are, well, sixth. And Liverpool are seventh. This table at the moment is very weird in all ways, shapes, and forms, to say the least. This table is all over the place. I'm not gonna lie, if you ask me. But it's nice to see Arsenal being on top. We have 4-point lead at the moment. 7 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Only 3 goals conceded, which is fantastic. I'm not going to lie. It is fantastic that we haven't conceded a lot. Let's just put it that way. Then again, next game is against Burnley away. Should be a win. But I don't know how this injury is going to affect us. Who going to cover Rice? Merino? Hell no. Who going to cover Nelly or Saka? Like, that's the thing. Rice is going to get covered by Merino. Unless Arteta basically does the madness and puts Eze in the 10. Oh, in the 8, sorry. And Vangieri in the 10. I can see that being a thing. And why not? We have the players, we have the depth technically. We can definitely exploit that option, that opportunity. Will we do that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Arteta just doesn't have the cojones to do such a thing. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Palace are 10th, Brentford. Look at this though. Fulham, Forest, West Ham, and Wolves. Holy moly. Holy moly. But yeah, against Burnley, we can do that midfield. I would expect that. I would expect that midfield to be good against Burnley, 100%. Eze in the 8, Zubimendi in the 10, in the 6, I guess, if Rice is not available. If Rice is not available. But we cannot even look at Burnley at the moment, right? We cannot even look at Burnley at the moment. We need to think about Wednesday. We need to think about Wednesday. When we play Brighton in the Carabao Cup, we need to look at that. And that, for me, at the moment, is a bigger worry. Because if we lose that game, we are out of the cup. We cannot afford to throw these games into bins like we have done before. To be honest, we have seen it happen before, so I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it's not great. Big up Sacks. Big up Sacks. Hope you're doing well. Nauman turning 16 in December. When Yeri is legit better than all the... this. Still worried about the lack of open play goals. I am as well. Finally, someone talks about that. Bro, I've been talking about this for a week. Where have you been for a week, by the way? You have been here for 2 streams from the last 7. You cannot chat to me. I've been talking about this for a week at least. And for me, that is a big concern. Big up Sachs for mentioning this as well. Because I said this already twice on the stream, but I'm going to repeat once again. Arsenal have scored, as you can see, 16 goals in Premier League this season. 16. Only 5 of those 16 goals have been from open play. Rest of the 11 have been set pieces or penalties. More specifically, 9 from set pieces, 2 from penalties, and 5 have been from open play. So less than 33%. Less than 33% of the goals have come from open play, which at the moment, I'm not panicking. I'm not ringing alarm bells. However, we are very heavily relying on set pieces, right? And if they dry up before we figure out how to score from open play, we will fall, and quite massively. And we might actually become a laughing stock to some extent. I already am seeing on social media City fans, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, even United fans saying that it's Arsenal's league to lose. Because the way we are racking up points, the way our defense plays, nobody comes near to us at the moment, at least at this given time after 9 games. And if we lose the league, it will not be as worse as the 22-23 season when we balled the 8-point lead almost. But it will be something to that extent. Like it is already getting to those points, which is for me worrying. Not talking about you guys, just those will never say that. They will never say that. They will address it somehow differently. They will look at different perspective. Never underestimate anyone, even a team that doesn't look good. Yeah, exactly. Just like Grimsby beat Manchester United. Last year, Plymouth beat Liverpool in the cup. Let's not forget those things as well. Anyone can beat anyone on a given day. And it could happen to anyone. A damn Real Madrid cooked Barca finally. But yeah, Real Madrid won. At least El Clasico was somewhat watchable for a change. But El Clasico after Messi and Ronaldo has lost it. Has lost its appeal to some extent for me personally. Should have shut his mouth. But yeah, anyways, the starting 11, right? Lineups. Here we go. Arsenal starting 11 for the game. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Saka, Eze, Trossard, and Gyökeres. Pretty much something similar I expected. I said that Martinelli would start on the left wing. Turns out, obviously, Trossard started on the left wing, but it was the 11 I predicted. Obviously, I said if Gabriel doesn't play, Mosquera goes in there. But obviously, Gabriel played, right? So I guess it is what it is. But the 11 was pretty much expected. The substitutions were a bit forced due to injuries. 3 of them, by the way. But we'll see how that pans out. That 22-23 broke me, Robo. Worst of ones that we've bowled. I would agree with that. I definitely would agree with that. That 22-23, that was as soon as Saliba went down against Sporting Lisbon. And afterwards, obviously, what's its face? Rob Holding went in the center back. I knew it was done. 4-1 at Etihad as well. Yeah, it was done and dusted. That broke me because that was the first season I had hopes. I actually dreamed. I actually saw Arsenal lifting the trophy that season. And it just flashed away in front of my eyes. That was the first season in the last decade, arguably, I believed in Arsenal. I never had believed in Arsenal in the last decade as much as I believed in them that season. Hence why, I call this stuff out more right now. And people, because of that, call me toxic and negative. Oh, you're toxic, you're negative, you're a fake fan. You don't see, you don't understand, you're a moron, you're an idiot, fuck off down the lane, go support Spurs, and all this crap they want to say and push at us. Oh, you have an agenda, you purposely dig out certain players or the manager. No, I don't. It's just I have seen before. I've been hurt too many times. I've seen this story before, and I didn't like the ending in the words of Taylor Swift. I've seen this story before, and I didn't like the ending. I want the ending to be rewritten with a happy ending. And so far, it's looking good, but I'm not getting my hopes up as of now. If it's game week 30, 31, and we are, let's just say, 6 points, 9 points clear, and we are still keeping this up, different story. But for now, not getting carried away. One game at a time still. Sure, but from the moment Saliba was injured, yeah, and he started holding over Kibio, it was like that. 11 goals in the league already. For who? What is happening here? What are we talking about here? But yeah, I'm not going to do player ratings today. I don't see the reason behind it. I'm not going to lie. Don't see reasonings behind it, but it is what it is. Let me fix the camera. It's doing a bit of a mess at the moment. Game week 9, no chance I'm getting carried away. Exactly. Yet top Gooners are already screaming, we're going to win the league, champions performance, and all this stuff. I already can see it. I'm not going to talk about much, but I just want to look. Let me check this. Here we go. I'm just going to share this with you. As long as I don't get copyright stricken by AFTV, by the way. Here we go. Still top of the table. Is this the year? They call me delusional. This team can create history. Liverpool title hopes are over. Keep driving the team forward. Credit to Mikel. Ugly but beautiful. More come from Eze. Man City will win the league. Oh, bloody hell. We still rely too much on set pieces. Facts. Big up to Hugo. Big up to Hugo saying this. We still rely too much on set pieces. Big up to this guy. Belgium sings. I don't understand how you can't be positive. Well, think about it. Think about it, and you will understand. Righting the wrongs of last season, and that also I understand, by the way. Righting the wrongs of last season, because we have beaten all the teams, not all the teams, but many teams we have drawn or lost against last season. Your Palace, your Fulham, your Newcastle, all these teams we drew, lost to them. We have already beaten them once at least right now. We need more of that. I've been very strong on this. As long as we win the same amount of games we won last year, plus out of the 14 draws we had last year, right? We turn at least 9 or 10 of them into wins. We should be winning the league. That's what I said. So far, we are doing very good to do that. But obviously, we have to play each team twice. So winning now is great. But if we, let's just say, beat Fulham away now and we lose to them at Emirates, it means nothing. If we beat Crystal Palace now and we lose to them at Selhurst Park, it means nothing, right? So we need to keep this up. Top Gunners lose themselves every time. Oh, 100%. That channel at times puts out the wrong messages. You know that at times could be many times as well. It's actually nuts. But yeah, it is a bit confused. It is like that. It definitely is like that. Let me check this. Let me check this quickly. Let me check this. Well, nothing as of yet. We have to wait for new things. They always put out the wrong. I don't know. Well, they have changed over time. It's all about the Benjamins today, isn't it? These days, it's all about the Benjamins for them most of the time. Jamie Carragher praises Arsenal. What else is new? Arsenal gained 3 points. The rivals Liverpool and City as they remain top of the Premier League. Great. Mikel Arteta. We suffer every week to win football matches in this league. It's going to be a long run. Oh, you said it, brother. You said it. What else is there? Yeah, this Calafiori, Saliba, and Rice situation is definitely not a great thing because they all are injured. allegedly, according to Super Duper Meek. But it is a worry. It definitely is a worry at the moment, because tomorrow we should be getting oh, bloody hell. This is the stuff top gooners pride themselves on. Arsenal have now, wait, give me a sec, let me zoom in. This is the stuff that is great on one hand and is very worrying on the other hand. Arsenal have now scored more goals from set pieces alone. 11, by the way. Out of 16, 11 goals Arsenal have scored from set pieces than the entire tally of 8 teams in the Premier League this season. Villa has 9, Newcastle 9, Everton 9, Leeds 9, Fulham 9, West Ham 7, Wolves 7, and Forest have scored 5. Goals in general, Arsenal have scored more from set pieces. This is nothing to be proud of. It's great that we get them. It's great that we win. But overall, to make it as a massive statement like it's something unique and special, when it ultimately could result into nothing, it's not that good of a thing. Because we need to score from open play. We need to start scoring from open play desperately. Desperately, we need to start scoring from open play. Because if this goes south real quick, we might be in a no man's land. From that, if we are looking from that perspective, we need to figure out the open play goals. We need to figure them out ASAP. We need to figure out the open play goals. Let's just put it that way. Other channel. Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Just be happy, Robo. That's what they would. Oh, yeah. Just be happy. We have 11 goals from set pieces. Yay. Look, nobody does it better than us. Yay. And when the season ends and we tend to win nothing in the last few seasons. Oh, but we have scored the most goals from set pieces. We are the XG champions, but and everything. This he looks like he's. Well, it's well, at least I put my opinion on the screen whilst you sit in your mom's basement wanking over Mikel Arteta's new haircut. But yeah, like set pieces, I get it. Set piece again, ole. That is the thing. That is Arsenal's battle cry these days. I have nothing against it, right? I have nothing against Arsenal scoring the set pieces, right? It sounds like that because for me, the issue is the open play goals. For me, these set pieces throughout the whole season over the course in Premier League, 38 games, Champions League, let's add just what? Let's just say 15 more games. Carabao FA Cups, if you get to finals, like extra 10 games, right? It's not sustainable over the course of 60-odd games. It will be good for about 20, 25, but the rest of the games, we need the open play goals. Especially in Premier League. Set pieces for example, set pieces in Europe for us is not that important because there is more space we can attack, right? In Premier League, it's very important. But it again, just like last year, it is just a matter of time until it gets figured out. And if we don't have a solution from open play goals, right? If we don't find solution to score from open play goals, before they dry up, it could be very rough. Open play time set piece, then exactly. That for me is the biggest thing. That's what I want. I want the balance. I have nothing against winning a certain game just scoring from set pieces. But you also need to win games scoring of open play consistently. But the thing is, in Premier League, we tend to rely heavily on these set pieces. As I have said this already countless times this stream. 16 goals this season in Premier League, 11 from set pieces, dead ball situations. Only 5 from open play. Less than 1/3 of goals have been from open play. which for me is the biggest worry. Not the fact that we score from set pieces, it's the open play goals that are struggling right now. Because if we figure that out, it's pretty much it with our defense at the moment, it will be impossible to stop us. And that is not an understatement, overstatement of any sort regarding Arsenal. Because if we figure that shit out, it's almost impossible to stop us in Premier League at least. It will be like that. Arteta has everything he needs. He better start creating more solutions. Exactly. And we've been begging for these solutions for how long now? For how many? For like year and a half at least. To create more progressive, more attacking, more fluid football, quicker, faster, pick up the tempo and everything. Because whenever Arsenal pick up the tempo many times, last year we saw that quite a lot when we were drawing or losing certain games, the other team couldn't handle us. So for me, the biggest question is, why don't we do that from the start? We scored those 2-3 goals, we blitzed the team, and then you can recycle, reshuffle, re-evolve and everything and park the bus and play these boring draws. Seal the deal, and then you can do whatever you want. You're in good position, relax and chill. I hate when people cheer and do stupid set. I do that. Well, not on the stream, but I just use it as a gimmick. Let's just put it that way. And this is as well Gabriel Magalhaes. He is the focal point of our set pieces, scoring them or doing layoffs and everything. For me, who is going to take his place if something goes wrong? Knock on wood if he gets injured, right? Who is going to take his place? Because when Gabriel was out last year, yes, we scored from set pieces, but it wasn't as efficient. It dried up as well to some extent. Yeah, Gabriel almost scored today. It was a nuts collision. All the puns intended. He literally went with his nuts straight into the post. Right? But hey, that's a bit different, right? That's a bit different. But yeah, he almost scored. He could have scored today. Without shadow of a doubt, he could have scored today. That for me is the biggest thing. That for me is one of those things that again is a bit of a worry. But Gabriel was again good today. Arteta needs the proper serious man who will shape this team because nothing but same predictable. That predictability is a big issue. Mistakes when he's done. Like I'm gonna say this, and I don't want people to get this the wrong way. I'm not defending Arteta by saying this, but I get why football we play tends to look so boring at times. Because we play slow and safe. That's what our manager is, slow and safe. Arteta is like that. He wants to play like that. But also credit where credit is due to our opponent when they play mid-low blocks. Since Arteta hasn't figured out how to beat them, they're very organized when they defend like that. They close the gaps quickly. There are no half spaces, pockets where our players can run into, right? And there is maybe like 0.5 of a second when we maybe can unleash the pass. It is risky, right? And we all know that Arteta likes to play it safe. Hence why we pass the ball backwards and recycle the ball. It is not sometimes as much on the style we want to play as much as other team imposes on us to play, right? And that's why it also seems very boring. The thing is, though, you would think that in a year and a half, 2 years, when we can face these mid-low blocks, Arteta would have figured out how to beat these mid-low blocks. We have done it on occasion, but we haven't. We have overall. the way Arteta has figured out how to do this is with set pieces. So I guess we are in that boat where it's kind of a mix and match situation going on here. Like it goes both ways. No offense, but yeah, relax. We know your opinions on Arteta. Since 22-23 season, Arteta has gone ultra defensive. Yeah, and that for me is the most surprising part, because I get why he did it, because he saw that he defense wasn't holding up, and he kind of blitzed the teams, and he got massive scars. Let's just put it that way. He got scarred for life, got PTSD, maybe nightmares about the way we kind of screwed up and Arteta squandered 8-point lead, right? But I would still believe that if Saliba doesn't get injured, right, we win the league, right? So that would also stand to a point that if we sign a proper backup for Saliba, which we did only just now, let's be real, we only did it just now, after 3 years, we could go back to that attacking football. And that would be the perfect balance. Blitz the teams early, and then you play your defensive snorefest, right? You need to find a balance, because he has gone from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. The golden path is somewhere in the middle. And not too sure Arteta wants to go back to that. Maybe in the second part of the season, something is going to change. We will see more expansive football. Who knows? Although I will not hold my breath on that. I'm not gonna lie. But he needs to find the balance in that. He needs to find the balance in that, personally. So I guess that it is. But yeah, it is what it is in those terms. But yeah, like big up Sheldon. Big up Sheldon. It feels like that. It feels like that a bit. Like there is some really, really big anger issues going towards Mikel Arteta. I'm not gonna lie. In those terms. In those terms. Is it directed at me or not? Because for me, as long as we keep winning, I'm happy chappy. I don't care. I don't mind. For me, it's just a long-term thing. It might not be sustainable long enough. That, for me, is the biggest worry. Arteta can just randomly switch it up as well and take us by surprise, but he's definitely more defensive. Yeah, we saw Arteta switching it up. Remember the season when we lost the league by 2 points to Man City, right? Havertz was playing in the midfield for the first half of the season. It didn't work out, obviously. And we were quite bad. We went 1-7 in December. We screwed it up against Fulham at home and all this stuff. And the second half, after the Dubai trip, he actually went hell attacking. He went actually expansive type of football. Remember, we beat Crystal Palace 5-1. We beat Nottingham Forest 3-0, and we beat West Ham 5-0 or 5-1 as well. He showed that he can actually change mid-season going into that direction. He can switch it up, obviously kind of coincided with Havertz going up top, right? And Havertz had a massive purple patch. He kind of carried us throughout that second part of the season to some extent. Credit where credit's due to him. But since then, we haven't done it. We absolutely haven't done it. And that is the thing. We have seen it in certain games on occasion, but we haven't seen it over an extended period of time once again, which is the frustrating part, because we know what we have seen, that Arteta can be defensive and he can be hell attacking. So for me, the question is why he is very afraid to do it again. Either it's the pressure, either it's the fact that he actually right now has certain expectations from the fan base, from the ownership, from everyone, and he maybe just doesn't want to risk it and just go just that type of gun-ho type of football anymore. And he much more prefers the pragmatic defensive style, which still brings in results, but it's genuinely blinding to watch and sleep insomnia curing to watch, right? Maybe that is the case. He actually kind of prioritizes results over performances. And obviously, as Arsenal fans, we want the best of both worlds. We want actually performances and results. But it feels like at the moment we cannot get both. We have to get either or. And obviously, as a fan, I want to see a trophy, right? So at the moment, kind of have to make amends that in Premier League, we're going to see this pragmatic, insomnia-inducing, curing defensive style of football. But as long as it gets results, fine. I will be okay. But that won't stop me from still dreaming about attacking football, still calling out players' performances, some mistakes Arteta does, and all this stuff. That won't stop me from that at the end of the day. Big up, Caps. Oh, I see what you mean. Just need to trust our defense. They're more mature as well. Yeah, they are more mature. They've played together. They know each other pretty much inside and out, pause and all this stuff, of course. But they know what is what and how it should be going, right? They know that. So it should not be as big of an issue. But maybe, just maybe, he has that PTSD from back in the day, and he's not willing to let that go. I think he has it like a reminder from what it could have been, and he actually wants to actually achieve what it could have been. He wants to achieve that. So maybe, just maybe. But yeah, 3 points on the board. Happy chappy. Everyone's happy. Maybe not Marlon based on the chat, but it is what it is. But yeah, 3 points on the board. We are going again on Wednesday. Brighton at home. Carabao Cup. Question is, will we beat Brighton? As nuts as it sounds. Obviously, it's going to be a different stream when we do it on tomorrow or on Tuesday. But overall, yeah, Brighton, Carabao Cup, another game we must win. More chances, we progress through. This is the first chance for us getting any silverware. This is the first trophy we can win on course of the season, because the Carabao Cup final is in March, so we can win it the first one. Hopefully, it will be positive, but for now, 3 points on the board, 4 points clear on the table, and we are super in a good position. Still have to play Brighton at home, Burnley away, Sunderland away, and Slavia Prague away in Champions League. All 4 games are winnable, but of course the question still remains: what is going to happen with Saliba, Rice, and Calafiori injuries, and what's happening with Martinelli, because he got a treatment after the game as well. Those four questions need to be answered ASAP, because no matter how you look at it, with the squad depth we have or don't have, as people look at it or not, it could affect our season going forwards, at least in the near future. Time only will tell, of course. Time only will tell. Yeah, rotating for that game, exactly. But we're going to talk about it, especially exactly in the next stream. Long as we're winning, the manager will remain. It's a result, basically a results-oriented business. As long as we keep winning, as long as we win trophies, yeah, exactly. It is what it is. I'm Arsenal fan. I want Arsenal to win. As long as we win trophies, I'm going to be happy, over the moon. But if we don't win, I'm sorry, but Arteta might not is not it. Might need to get a new manager in. But as long as we win, nothing too much to complain about. But that won't mean we won't stop calling out some stuff we think is wrong at the end of the day. But yeah, people, I'm going to end it today here. Big up to you all for being here. Smash the likes. Subscribe if you're new. Hopefully going to see you all tomorrow. But for today, I am signing off. So have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow. And hopefully going to see you tomorrow on the stream as well. Peace.